Welcome all. This is Comics Covered for the week of December 5th, 2018. We're in the home stretch here.
Would you say we might be
month.
in the Endgame?
Like The Thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a comics thing.
It is like a comics thing. This is episode 54. On Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them. Wow. Like some maybe major movie properties that exist based on the comic books that we read. We'll talk about the industry, those movies, TV, games. We will talk spoilers about books or any other media that is relevant, and we'll warn you about those spoilers. Usually, sometimes we forget.
Yes, I will hope that everyone will know that the reason Doug is saying between every other word is because we changed up the script here. And
we did a little bit.
Trying a little bit of a different thing because we got rid of a section.
Oh, we did get rid of a section. I mean, we did that a while ago, but thanks for the update for the audience. There is something slightly different this week, though. Yes. I think there was maybe a little hint of it a minute ago before we both talked over. But I've got not just myself here, Doug. I am your comic book Sherpa.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm sure many of our listeners know much more about comics than I do. But I was reading comics way before Jack and got him into it. He is here with me. Hello, Jack.
I am here. I am Jack. I am a newer reader. So, yes.
And we are also here with special guest Samantha.
Hello.
Hello.
What's that?
I don't know.
That was just a little accent there. It was almost British, I think.
It was almost British, almost Australian, because we're going between the British Bake Off and the Australian Bake Off.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I get confused.
We watched a television show called The Great British Bake Off, and it is wonderful and calming.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't know, all around just wholesome.
But the Australian one, they keep telling them to bike, but they don't give them any bicycles. So
it's pretty crazy.
It's very confusing.
Because, I don't know if you got it, Doug, it's the Australian accent.
The Australian accent to bake, bike. Yeah.
Okay. So Samantha's been on a couple episodes here, and they've been exclusively about the Great British Bake Off.
Yes.
Bake Off. Yeah. Is it baking show? Great British Bake... What is it called?
So, this show was called The Great British Bake Off in the UK, and then when they wanted to produce it on PBS in the US, apparently some American show has some trademark over Bake Off, so they have to call it The Great British Baking Show.
That's so generic sounding.
Yeah,
I know.
It is.
Yeah. Anyway, so you've been on the show before. It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully try to get you on a little bit more often here.
She's like a new character in our universe of
our shared comics covered universe.
Yeah.
Wow, everybody's rushing to get that shared cinematic universe, and I think once we get our 4 or 5 spin-offs going, I think Samantha's gonna be a pretty integral part of that.
Would it be this?
I think we should have the Housewives of Comics Covered.
Oh, yeah?
I think that should be a thing.
With those
well, we need to get some Housewives.
But you're actually on Comics Covered now.
I know, but I can be on that too. It's a spin-off.
Well, I think you're trying to look for a lot of airtime, aren't you?
No, I just think it would be a smart decision.
Okay.
But, you guys do what you want.
All right. Well, I'm calling my lawyer.
Oh,
how's your guys' week been?
Samantha, what'd you do?
Well, we had Hanukkah, which was very fun because I got a lot of coffee-related gifts.
Yes.
So lots of things to feed my addiction.
You are a big coffee person?
Huge, yes.
She's a large coffee. She's made of coffee.
Made of
coffee.
It's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but all coffee.
Yeah.
Like coffee foam.
Ooh, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think coffee makes foam, though. It's milk.
It can.
That makes foam. I guess at some point it must become foam, right?
Well, if it's like a latte or some sort of
that's milk,
more
though.
Milky coffee drink, well, you can put the milk in the goddamn coffee, okay? Stop undercutting me.
But that's not coffee foam. That's milk foam.
Your milk foam.
Ugh,
How else was your Hanukkah?
Yeah, Hanukkah's great, and my dog loves Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
He gets very excited, and we wrap some cookies that he has, and then he gets to open it, and he gets very excited.
Yeah, he's really, really excited about it. It's really weird, actually.
Like, the second we start singing at the menorah, he goes crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, it's cookie time.
He's like, it's
Seriously.
time. He runs to the table, puts his paws up. He's like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Those 8 candles mean it cookie time for dog.
I mean, that's basically what's going in his head. It's crazy. On another note, I just want everyone to know that I'm not Jewish, but I'm slowly beginning to be more Jewish, and it's great. And I learned the song that they sing at Hanukkah, like, all the way through now, so I'm really happy about that.
Okay, the song that they sang at Hanukkah. Okay.
Yes, there's a song you sing every night at the candle lighting, Doug.
I'm sure it probably has a name.
Does it? Samantha's shaking her head. It's a non-visual
No, does it
medium,
not?
Samantha.
Is it
I
just the
don't know.
Hanukkah song? Oh, oh no.
I went to Hebrew school for like 8 years, but I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Well, they're
All right.
ashamed of you.
I'm sure they are.
I had a great week too. We also watched this documentary called My Life as a Turkey, and it's about a guy.
That's what that means. Jack put in the rundown here. He wrote my life as and then a turkey emoji.
I'm
and
so
I
glad.
thought for sure that Jack had just realized he could put emojis into Google Docs, and was excited to use that.
I will say I did get very excited when I saw that pop up on my phone, and I actually got to put it in there. It was really, really cool.
Okay, so what is this?
So it's a documentary about a guy who gets a bunch of turkey eggs, like 16 of them, and he
imprints on them and becomes their mother.
yeah.
Oh.
As in, like, he, like, hatches them, and he's, like, the first thing they're seeing, and he makes, like, noise, like...
Oh, wait, and you have to preface it with, I don't know if you did,
What?
that these are wild turkeys. These are not regular
Mhm.
turkeys.
Like, well, I mean, what is a regular turkey?
No, they have different...
No, I know, but, like a wild, like, they're wild as in, like, they're not what you're raising.
Like, these turkeys are, like, the life of the party. Like, these turkeys are wild.
Well,
That's about it.
As they said, it's the difference between a dog and a wolf.
Yeah,
basically.
that's about it.
With the instincts and everything.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this trailer for this movie, Alpha, that has been going around?
That's like a
That is-
robot dog, right? Robot wolf?
No, it's like a caveman or like some sort of Neanderthal or early man, and he makes friends with a wolf, and it doesn't look good. But anyways, it looks like, I just feel like it's such a missed opportunity to call that movie like Dog Origins or The First Dog.
I mean, I can feel that. I don't think I'm going to see that for two reasons. It looks bad, and the wolf is definitely going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, that wolf dog is dead.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
don't want to see that.
110%. That dog is dead.
Yeah.
It is
so
the
sad.
first dog and the first dog to die.
God, it's like Marley and Me, the beginning.
Yeah.
Blame that for Marley and me.
The turkey thing
Blame
is hard
Alpha.
enough to see them,
Yeah, there were a bunch of turkeys in this documentary that got murdered by like hawks and as babies
Oh my
by
God.
snakes. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
they had like 16 eggs, and you know why like other animals have like so many kids, because they fucking die.
Jesus.
Oh, by the way, good
Yeah.
time to mention, Samantha, that we swear.
Yes, last time I was aware of it.
Oh yeah. We swear like seamen.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
sailors.
Just like
like seamen
That.
sailors.
Seaman sailor. Well, yeah.
Well, okay, when you say it like that,
Well, seamen.
it doesn't quite sound redundant. It just sounds like you're saying something else.
Yeah.
Well, I think what she's trying to say is seamen / sailors. So seaman sailors.
Right.
Backslash? Okay,
Yeah, but do I
can't
have
dig
to
into
say
this
backslash?
anymore.
Do you just not get it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well.
Doug, how was your week? What'd you do?
My week has been great. I'm finally goddamn caught up on my comic books.
Yeah.
I was my backlog of single issues from the last few weeks was just getting bigger and bigger every week because I had a really busy work weeks the last like month or two here, and it was just like every week it would just add like a couple more books, and then I had like 1 or 2 weeks where I like was barely able to read anything, and so it would be like most of my week of books would just be added to that stack. And finally, this last week I was just able to just plow through all that stuff.
Nice.
So I'm finally caught up, other than one book here. But I should be able to like read some extra stuff this week, which I'm pretty excited about now
That's
that I've got that out of the way.
Some Hellboy? Are you still on Hellboy?
Yeah, I'm at a weird crossroads in which I have reached the point at which I might need to start reading a different trade because these big oversized ones don't account for the BPRD stuff, which happens concurrently with it. Anyways.
Oh, by the way, since you brought up the well, actually, I guess technically I brought up Hellboy, but since you brought up BPRD, I think I'm dropped, and I know I should probably say this in the weekly comic section. I dropped Hellboy 1956 from my poll.
I was very curious, just as a quick little chat on it here. I was very curious what you were going to, because I told you that those series were pretty standalone, and then I read that one and I was like, holy shit, this has got a lot of tie-ins to stuff that has happened in these previous Hellboy and the BPRD stuff, like, in a way that was like... You probably didn't pick up on all that stuff?
Not at all.
Because you didn't read them.
I didn't even think about that, honestly. Like, I didn't feel like lost or anything. I just felt like, okay, we're picking this up right here. You know what I mean? Like, when... Like,
I guess they kind of... I guess sort of caught you up, but, like, it was following up on a lot of plot threads.
I do feel like
series.
I do feel like I would have cared more about the general story.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe if we both... Because both of us were thinking, like... I looked at my pull list and I was like, we have to get rid of like, so much.
It is
not so much,
fucking. It is culling time.
It's a fucking
like it is. There are so many new books coming out right now that I just like can't skip. Anyways,
that was
back on track here.
Yeah. What do you do?
My exciting new thing that I started this week was I started Netflix's Castlevania show.
So is that a video game?
Yeah.
Castlevania is a video game series. I have never played one. But it seemed like a vague enough concept that like it's Dracula. There's a dude who's a Belmont, which is a family of monster hunters, and you gotta take out Dracula. But anyways, the thing that got me into it was that Warren Ellis writes that show. Like he scripts it. So and I have been. It's not like I'm not getting a good dose of like good Warren Ellis. Like Wildstorm is awesome, but I've been fairly disappointed in Cemetery Beach.
Yeah.
Since that started, and I had high hopes for that, and so I was just like kind of had a hankering for like to try to get something new from Warren Ellis that was great. And I've been hearing really good things about since the second season came out about Castlevania. And so I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't think I need to know anything about these games to watch this. It's just Dracula and shit, right? So I started watching it, and it is everything you want in a Warren Ellis story, in the dialogue, in the fight choreography, in like all the cool ass shit that you get from one of his comic books, you get in this show. You don't need to know anything about the games to watch it. I don't like, there's like names and stuff that are lifted, but like I don't think there's a ton of like story in those games.
Now something to keep in mind, I don't think neither Samantha nor I have really read a Warren Ellis book that's been like really, really great thus far. I mean, I really like
you've only read
Beach. I can see what you're saying because it's definitely moving slowly, and the first 3 issues have all been just constant action, it seems like.
Yeah.
And no story.
It's a little too much action, and it's not even like, because Warren Ellis, I think, in general, like, his writing of action scenes is one of the things that I think makes him great, but I'm not seeing much of that in this book. It's just action. Like, it doesn't feel like a Warren Ellis action sequence.
And honestly, we're almost halfway through. We're on 3 of 7, and 4 is coming out next week.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue with it just because I don't feel like I'm getting much out of it.
Yeah.
But I found this show, and it is excellent. It's also super, super doable in like a time when like there's too many shows and shit. They're 20-minute episodes, and this first season is 4 episodes. The second season is 8.
Oh, that's great.
It's super doable. I'm halfway through the second season already, so I'm like 2/3 done, and it's just like a really great little. Each episode is a great little chunk of like genre storytelling.
Okay.
Great voice cast. It's excellent.
So
I highly recommend it. It is animated. It's in an anime style. I don't want to get into like the weird debate over whether or not like Western anime inspired stuff is anime, but it is in an anime kind of visual style, and with a Western voice cast, American voice cast. or I don't know where they're from, but they're English speaking.
They're from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Richard Armitage is
I recognize that name.
That's
a guy that's in the Wolverine podcast.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Does he play Wolverine?
He plays Wolverine.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see it. He's got a gruff kind of voice.
So
He
cool.
plays Trevor Belmont. And they've got fucking Matt Frewer is in it. They just introduced a character played by Peter Stormare
I have
in
no
the
idea
second
who
season.
these people are.
Peter Stormare, Big Lebowski, the nihilist character.
Oh, the guy who has the ferret?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. Wow. Have you even seen
Peter
the Big
Stormare
I
is
have
Lebowski?
not seen that movie.
Samantha has not seen the Big Lebowski. She needs to see it.
Peter Stormare is very good.
Okay.
He's in Fargo. Anyways. So yeah, I definitely recommend that show. I'm hopeful you are going to read something by Warren Ellis that will
What would you
capture your
recommend?
attention here.
Well, tell him
What?
we saw a book in the store the other day when we went. It was called Injection by Warren Ellis.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah?
Oh, it's
Yeah, we
great.
wanted to get
Injection is excellent.
We wanted to get it, but we saw a couple other ones that we got instead.
we chose to get, what was it, the Fade Out?
We chose to get the Fade Out, the complete collection, and we got the second book in the Sandman series, which is really hard to find, so we decided why not.
Okay. I need to read Sandman as well. But Injection is excellent whenever you get around to it. I know you have a million things on your list, but
we have a million things in the room right now. It's insane.
I know. But yeah, Injection is awesome. It's on a very long break right now, but it's going to be back at some point theoretically.
Because I was reading about it, I was trying to say it said it was ongoing, but I saw it hadn't had an issue.
It is theoretically ongoing. They're on a massive break.
Huh.
But they said it'll come back someday.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it ended. So.
Okay, I'm excited. Fun.
It'll be very sad if it doesn't, because it's not finished, I don't think. Anyways. So let's move on into some news here.
Yeah.
So one big fucking huge thing of news this week, we finally got the trailer for Avengers 4. Revealed in the trailer, the title is Endgame.
We're in the Endgame now.
Yeah, which Joan Anthony Russo fucking lied when people, because there was a theory about this title was a theory a while back, but people asked them directly on social media, is the title of Avengers 4 said in Infinity War? And they said no.
Doug, here's the thing though. At what point in Infinity War did anyone ever say the words Avengers Endgame?
Right.
Okay. That's some bullshit. All right. So the title is Endgame. Yeah, a reference to, what was that? Doctor Strange said that? Or who said that?
Because Tony Stark asked him, why'd you give him the stone to trade for my life? He just says, we're in the Endgame now.
Which apparently I saw, it's also a reference to the first Avengers movie, where Tony Stark, talking to, I don't remember who he's talking to, but
I believe it's the second, because I think he's justifying his invention of Ultron in saying,
it's in Age of Ultron? I thought it was in the first Avengers.
I'm pretty sure it's Age of Ultron, because when he's saying that, he doesn't seem like he is in Avengers. He's that up there, space, that's the end game, because I think he's talking from experience from the Chitauri, from the invasion of New York.
I don't know. It's from one of the other Avengers movies, Tony Stark said that. But, talking about space. So, that is also a callback to that. Really cool. The trailer is, you don't get a ton of story. It's just kind of here's where we're starting at. Here's the vibe, what's kind of at stake. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Samantha was giving me a lot of shit because I've watched this trailer so many times in the last day.
15? Maybe more?
I mean, okay, can you tell him why I was getting shit for it? What don't you get?
It's not that. It's just I think it's funny. That's all.
you don't seem to like get the, because for me, I
watched the trailer once. I pay a lot of attention, and then I'm good until the movie comes out.
But see, there's so much. I feel like there's so much in there that you can, like, maybe you don't have to dissect it. But for me, like, I don't know. I was trying to explain this yesterday. I feel like when I'm watching a trailer that it's like I'm able to watch just this much of the movie. And I really know I'm going to enjoy everything about the movie. But like watching this kind of gives me, it's like the methadone to meth, you know?
Yeah.
Like the movie Avengers Endgame will be like meth. But this is like the methadone that's tying me over until I get the meth. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, you're a junkie.
I'm a junkie.
But it's not going to change. It's the same, like, 2 minutes that you're going to see over.
But what if it does change?
See,
if he doesn't watch it 12 times a day, every day, it might change, and we don't want that.
Hey,
you're right.
Here's one thing that I did notice after multiple rewatches that I think is really, really cool. In the beginning, when Tony Stark...
God made the heavens and the
I
earth.
noticed something after the first watch.
Thank you. Tell me what you noticed.
It might be
well, she's better than
you.
you.
To say.
Okay. In any case, Tony Stark is talking to the Iron Man helmet, right? He turns it on, and he records a message for Pepper Potts. And it's almost this, like, Shakespearean sort of scene with, like, what is it, Hamlet? When he's talking to the skull, like, to be or not
Yorick.
to be. What?
To Yorick.
To Yorick.
Last port Yorick.
So I need to watch a thing of Hamlet again because I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember that, and it really reminded me of that. Also, the fact that he's saying all these like loving things, like "I'll dream about you," and he's like kind of saying it to Pepper Potts, but he's saying it to the Iron Man helmet. Like that's the only thing on his mind, and I think it's a really cool level of complexity for the character. Not necessarily for the character, but like just as it's represented on screen. Furthermore. Sorry, one other thing. When he's like, and I want everyone to watch this trailer again so that they can...
As many times as Jack has.
So they can notice this. I swear, when the screen goes on to just the helmet in the beginning, and we see his hand come into frame and turn it on, it's done in this, like, weirdly gentle and lovingly way. Like, it's very...
Yeah, they've just finished coitus.
No, yes. I'm serious though. It's very pointedly, like, in a gentle way that he's turning it on.
Okay.
After that, he hits it a little bit and says, "Oh, is this thing on?" But then, when he's turning it off, he very specifically turns it off, and then his thumb rubs the eye, as if you would rub the face of, like, your loved one. Just watch it again. I think it's so cool, because it's like, he's literally like, this is what he's been talking about. I think it's driven home by the fact that he's, like, handling the helmet in a way that you'd handle, like cuddle or caress your loved one.
I think it's like, I mean, you could read it dually there, but I think it's that he's talking to Pepper. It's definitely part of the idea there. But you could read, like, him saying goodbye to Iron Man.
I'm giving you a face right now.
All right, I take that face. You have no more face.
Darn it! I'm the question.
Oh
my god, can we talk about how Samantha got this first volume of The Question by Ryan O'Neal for me for Hanukkah? And it's like...
That's so exciting.
I mean, she says she paid a dirty amount of money for it. What?
By Denny O'Neal?
I don't know. Is it Denny O'Neal?
It is Denny O'Neal.
Okay, I said Ryan, didn't I?
Yeah.
Is there someone else named Ryan O'Neal?
Not unless you know someone named Ryan O'Neal.
No. Okay. I thought it was some comics guy. But in any case... I'm so excited to read The Question. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I want to read that at some point too.
Yes.
That's where I was going with that sentence. All right. Yeah, trailer looks really great. I'm excited for it. I don't know that I'm like, I watched it the one time. Yeah, I'm not obsessively watching it in the same way that, like, I did the same thing you're talking about with, Infinity War, that first trailer.
Yeah.
But it's just so just tonal and setup in this one that, like, there's not really much in terms of, like, the broad scope of the feel of the movie, I feel like.
Not really at all.
No. So, like, I'm not, like, rewatching it a million times, but, like, it definitely did enough to, like, kind of sate my curiosity of, like, we saw something. I'm excited. But like,
so are you gonna?
I might watch another trailer.
Oh.
I might break my rule and watch a second trailer because this one is so teasery. I feel like
it really is, but I think it's just enough for me. I'm gonna try and not do another one.
Like I don't need to, but like I do want a little bit more of a meaty. Like I want to get a feel of like I want to get some shots of action sequences and stuff, and I want to get some idea of like the weird directions they're coming at with some of the characters. I guess we get like that they're doing Ronin and stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
on Twitter, kind of I asked people like who Ronin was. I was like, tell me please, and someone told me. So now I know who that is.
Yeah.
Cool. Also, one other detail that I noticed on my constant rewatches, where he is, Hawkeye, Ronin, whatever, when he's like in that scene, when we see that scene, I swear that's the same scene. That's the same place that Doctor Strange is in his fight scene. It's South Korea. I wondered if that was supposed to be the same place or if it was just another, like, they're also in, I'm not super familiar with, like, what language this is written on the signs and stuff, but it definitely looks like they're in Asia somewhere. My thought is that if there's been rumors that time travel is going to be a factor in this movie, I think they're in an alternate timeline where some fucked up shit happened with him, and he's doing something with that, like Doctor Strange did in our timeline.
Interesting.
That's my thought, at least, because
I think this is current day. He's gone all emo because maybe his family died or something, or
I can see that.
And they are recruiting him to help them fight Thanos. But I think this is still like this is first act.
Yeah. It's all like the first 30 minutes of the movie, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I think pretty much everything in here is early. But anyways, it's cool. Not a ton to like look into. I think. Yeah. Unless you want to get all Jack on this and talk about how
is that a verb now or an adjective?
Yeah, get all Jack on this.
Actually, Jack is already a verb. Ew.
It is, unfortunately. Ew. How dare you? So here's a little update. Remember last week when we talked about how they're maybe making a Blue Beetle movie?
Oh, yeah. Do you know who Blue Beetle is, Samantha?
No.
Remember in Infinite Crisis, that Hispanic kid who gets that alien armor?
Yes.
That's Blue Beetle. Jaime Reyes.
Oh, right.
So they're making it last week. DC said, we're going to make a Jaime Reyes movie with Blue Beetle.
Well, I don't know that they said all of these are not announcements. They're like news stories broken by like Deadline and Hollywood Reporter and stuff. So like they're definitely things that are happening behind the scenes, but they're not like officially announced by these companies.
Okay.
So I don't think they're rumors. They seem fairly substantiated, but they're not like, they haven't come out and like said who's making them or whatever, but this week, just kind of as an addendum to that, 2 new weird characters who you would have never predicted would get a movie. Over at Marvel, we've got a Shang-Chi movie in the works.
That?
I have no idea. Okay, I have an idea maybe of who Shang-Chi is, because I was reading Spider-Man, and in one of the Spider-Man books that I have, a guy named Shang-Chi, I'm pretty sure, teaches him Kung Fu.
That sounds like him because his deal is he is the master of the martial arts. Oh. He knows every known martial art.
Did he teach Iron Fist or something, or am I just being racist?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know very little about with that little line I gave, I have exhausted my knowledge of Shang-Chi.
It's a cool name, though.
He has a cool name, and he's good at Kung Fu.
It is a cool name, but yeah, and it's a Kung Fu character. He doesn't have any powers. He's just a martial artist. That's kind of a cool thing to put in the Marvel Universe. I mean, it would be the first Asian-led Marvel movie.
Honestly, I hope they're seeing the success of the first season specifically, maybe even the third season, we haven't watched it yet, of Daredevil, in like those long, like really well choreographed fight scenes. So maybe they're trying to do that in a movie, and like, why not set up just another whole part of the universe and have a Kung Fu movie? Like, I'm down.
Yeah. Did you guys already talk about how Daredevil was canceled?
We did.
Yes, we talked about that last week.
That's so depressing.
It is.
It is so
depressing. We
have
one more season at least.
I know. I know.
They specifically said that they're going to continue to use him in something. So everyone's kind of speculating that, like, at least that show, if not some of the other shows, are going to be because Disney's starting their Disney Plus streaming service.
Right.
Mhm.
So they might just be restarting the show up back over there.
It makes sense. Bob Iger snapped his fingers, and 3 Defenders were gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's more than half. That's all of them. They were all gone.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I
Luke
guess
Cage,
Jessica Jones is still there, but that's going to get canceled as soon as that season drops.
Yeah, unfortunately, and Punisher, Punisher 2.
Yeah, they're all going to get canceled.
But there's
that
such
is for
great
sure.
castings. I can't imagine that they would let that go. Like, just
No,
like
they're
that.
they're going to do something with at least Daredevil, if not both him and Jessica Jones. I could see them bringing the other characters in, but they're less necessary.
I mean, honestly, Punisher, I think, adds a lot to it. Like, as a character. Maybe not his season of television.
Punisher's existence, I think, adds a lot to kind of that corner of the universe, for sure.
Because it's just, I feel like I don't know, there's not a lot of, like, towing the line between, like, is this character kind of good or not in, like, the main protagonists of those shows. You know what I mean?
So they're making a Shang-Chi movie. Also, a Plastic Man movie over at Warner Brothers.
And who is that?
Yeah, I think. You don't know who Plastic Man is. Wow. Doug, go ahead.
Has she? Oh, well, I'm trying to think. Plastic Man wasn't in, like...
she hasn't read Terrifics yet. She didn't read Dark Knight's Metal.
Plastic Man wasn't in... Did she read 52?
He wasn't in 52.
Was he not? Well, I'm sure he was at some point, but probably very in background or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure he appeared, at least. But,
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember anything that he's been a big part of, at least, that she's read.
Jack, do you have enough of a vague idea of who Plastic Man is that you could tell her?
You remember the elongated man, Ralph Dibny?
Mm-hmm.
So, Plastic Man has the same powers, stretch powers, and he's less depressed because, than Ralph Dibny, because Ralph Dibny,
Yeah.
that whole thing.
Yeah.
It's been like 15
His
years
wife
or whatever.
died.
Yeah, okay.
Also, that's
I
the
think the
first
statute of
issue.
limitations on that spoiler has expired.
Okay. In any case, Plastic Man is he's a detective, and he's more of a lighthearted, stretchy character.
Okay.
So he's imagine if Spider-Man had stretchy powers. I would say.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a comedic relief character a lot of the time. His name is Eel O'Brien.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Eel is a nickname, and apparently his name is Patrick, but everyone calls him Eel, the sea snake.
It's written as EEL.
EEL.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Which looks really weird when the first E is capitalized. But anyways, Eel O'Brien, and he used to be a criminal, and now he is a hero.
Isn't he a detective though? Right?
No, that's more Elongated Man. Elongated Man is a detective.
I'm getting mixed up. I thought that his series was like a mystery sort of thing, though. I don't know.
Maybe it is his current one. You mean?
I have no idea. I don't even know why I have that idea. Neither of us have read that book, so
it's probably because of Elongated Man. Elongated Man is a detective.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a thing of his.
Okay.
He detects things with his nose.
Oh yeah. Wait, yeah, that's Elongated Man, right? I forgot about that.
Or his nose twitches or whatever. Yeah. I don't even know. It's just like a weird, stupid character detail. Anyways,
that was great.
But yeah, so they're developing a Plastic Man movie.
Okay. They're trying to do more lighthearted characters. It seems like
they've got a screenwriter I've never heard of attached to this, and they say they're going to stay true to the lighthearted, even silly tones of the characters.
Interesting. I mean, sure. Samantha, you haven't watched a lot of these movies that DC has been putting out, like Justice League, Batman v Superman, but I remember you watched a little bit.
A lot of times it's because I've heard that they suck.
Well, no, Justice League doesn't suck, per se.
Not that one in particular, but
it
Batman
does.
v Superman.
Doug! I mean, I don't think Justice League sucks as much as Batman v Superman.
Well, no. I mean, if you're going to compare those two things, No, they're in an entirely different ballpark here.
But that's like why I don't watch it, because, if I hear that it's not great, why would I waste my time? You guys can just tell me what it's about.
No, I know. Doug and I are just cursed with knowledge, so we have to do these things.
Batman v Superman is worth a watch because it is bafflingly bad. It's so... that movie makes me angry, but I'm kind of glad that it exists because it's so fascinating how wrong they got it. Why? Why would you do so many of these things?
I love it because sometimes Doug gets uncomfortable with giving shit to things.
Yeah.
So when he does let it go like this, I love it. I just sit back and watch.
It's the worst. But also, it's so fun to hate on because it's just... I don't understand anything about it. Anyways.
But it's also tough. I remember watching that Ultimate version. It is so long.
God, yeah, I can't imagine that movie being longer and more bloody, making it better.
It was nuts. But yeah, so it's been really, really a dark time for DC and movies.
Yeah.
And we watched Suicide Squad together, too. I mean, that's more, quote-unquote,
that was
lighthearted.
very hard to get through.
But that was hard to get through, too, because it was kind of...
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably about the same ballpark of bad as Justice League, my bad.
I thought that was more watchable than Justice League was, but neither one's good.
So would you say that Justice League would be better if at some point Batman Aquaman it would say, what are we, some kind of Justice League?
God damn it, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what Aquaman would say. He would be the character to say it, wouldn't it?
What are we, bro? Some kind of Justice League or something? And then he'd throw a bottle of whiskey onto a whale's face.
Oh, God.
And then the whale would speak and say, hey, what did I ever do to you?
Hey, bud, fuck off.
Seriously. We just saw, I know this is a tangent. We got on tangents. We just saw a movie poster for Aquaman. I was just thinking, what if people go to the movie theater and they just hand them a printed copy of Drowned Earth? And they're like, okay, goodbye.
Oh, no. No.
Look, after all this convincing that you do to yourself, you're going to go there and you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie. I'm just so curious. You're going to go there and they're just going to hand you a book of Drowned Earth.
And they're going to go, and here's the source material for the movie. And I'm going to go, oh no. And then they're going to strap me into the seat and then I'm going to be forced to watch Clockwork Orange style.
Oh, wow. Yes. Very fun.
So.
Plastic Man is going to be made. Or maybe not.
Yeah, Plastic Man. Who knows? I'm skeptical about many of these, the Blue Beetle one, Shang-Chi, or this, but I think it's fun the more weird and obscure they get into this. I think a solo movie about a stretchy character like that is weird and kind of cool.
Very novel.
That's a power set that we haven't seen a whole movie devoted to, so that would be fun.
It could be really bad. But it also
could be
really
very
good.
bad.
It depends.
They can always be very bad.
Yeah. Most of these DC movies, even if they make Shang-Chi, I'm going to be pretty confident because it's Marvel that they're going to do a good job with it. DC, you never know now. You just never know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's that.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about that. We'll see. So, in brief comic news, last thing here. New Black Hammer spinoff. This is also the first one that is going to be co-written. So this is Black Hammer 45. So that's apostrophe 45, like year 1945. And it is about the golden age of the Black Hammer universe.
That's so exciting.
I just realized that means we're going to get young Abraham Slam.
Oh shoot! Was he was supposed to be? I guess he was supposed to be
an aging Golden Age hero,
a Golden Age character, or maybe late Golden Age.
I don't know. I think
we'll
get him as a young dude.
Probably we'll get his origin or something maybe in this series. So it is about the Black Hammer Squadron. They're going to take on Nazis, occult threats, and the, quote, ghost hunter, their ultimate aerial nemesis.
This is so exciting.
So this is a pulp, it's kind of Jack, you might know who the Blackhawks are?
Oh, yeah.
At DC?
I do from Dark Knight's Metal, mostly.
Yeah. So they are a squad of the Golden Age pilots. So I think this is kind of trading a little bit on that. They're on a plane, like a World War II plane in this. They've definitely got uniforms that look a little bit like that. They're in like red leather uniforms with a patch and scarves. So I think they're definitely, visually at least, a little bit inspired specifically by them. But
okay.
But wait, yeah, so it's
sorry, because you brought it up. Are they still making that Blackhawks movie that Steven Spielberg is supposedly directing?
Oh shit, I forgot about that. I assume that's in some level of production.
That's like Samantha gave a confused look. So Steven Spielberg came out and said that he's doing
Steven Spielberg?
Shut up.
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
He came out and said, or Warner Brothers came out and said that he's directing this DC in continuity movie called Blackhawks, which is going to be like a war movie.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's really interesting, but I mean, who knows? Because honestly, these days you don't even know about Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, the newer stuff
bit of a gamble.
Not great.
Yeah, but in any case, sorry.
Some of it's good.
Before we get into a tangent, sorry. Black Hammer 45, I'm super excited because this is going to be also like the first thing in continuity, that first story we get of Black Hammer. You know, before everything we've seen from it.
Yeah, I'm confused. So it's the Black Hammer Squadron? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
What are the group?
That's what you said.
Black Hammer Squadron. Yeah. So is Black Hammer, the character, a part of this? Is he inspired by them? Like, where is the line there? I'm curious.
Oh, that's actually interesting. I didn't get the idea that it was a mantle that was passed down, but was it passed down to the guy?
Yeah, I don't know, because none of these characters on this cover have the hammer, so I don't know what this means. But it could be one of those things, like maybe he's like playing with the idea of, like, in superhero comics a lot of times characters get reinvented drastically. Like maybe this is the Golden Age version, a la like Golden Age, like Green Lantern or something, you know, like, and then he gets revamped as this more superheroic character in the like kind of fiction level of the universe.
I can see that. That's interesting.
But maybe not. Maybe one of these is like that guy. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's being co-written by Ray Fox.
Who is that? Does he do anything else? What does he do?
He is a man. He lives.
He's a man.
He's a DC writer, slash some indie stuff. I've read, some things by him that I have liked, some things from him that I haven't liked.
Okay.
He wrote, a series I really liked, that was kind of centered around the Spectre and, like, dark supernatural end of the DC universe, but through a police procedural called Gotham by Midnight, Gotham After Midnight. I can't remember of those. I always get them confused.
Look that up.
But that series was good. Yeah. So he's co-writing art by Matt Kint, who is a big indie artist slash writer. So yeah.
Okay.
Excited for more Black Hammer. It seems to be, now that we have introduced the, like someone co-writing, I feel like this is the first step into the Hellboyification of
Black Hammer.
Of the Black Hammer universe.
Yeah.
We're gonna start getting some co-written stuff. We're gonna start getting some stuff where, Jeff Lemire is like clearly just like giving the broad plot and then someone else is scripting it. And then we're going to start getting just total spin-offs with other people writing and doing the art and stuff. So,
well, I'm happy to be here at the beginning. So
yeah, I am interested, like, if they can like get good talent on that, I'm on board. Cause like the universe is cool. So,
is Cthulhuese next week?
I thought it was, but then I couldn't find it on is it on the solicits for next week?
I thought it was on the solicits for this week actually too. I don't know.
Not sure, but it's coming out sometime soon.
Okay.
Anyways, let's move on from news. Okay, so, we read a bunch of books this week.
Oh my
Samantha,
God.
Do you have a list in front of you, and do you want to tell the folks what books we all read?
So, just so you know, these are the books that we both read. And actually, just so that people know, one of the reasons why Samantha is joining this time and starting to join more often is because we had such a big week this week. And, you know, sometimes she reads like half or like almost all the books. She read every single one of the books that we both read this week.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting very addicted.
Yes. We all do.
It happens.
It happens.
We all float in here.
Yeah. Okay, so this week was Doomsday Clock number 8. Immortal Hulk number 10, Justice League number 12, Martian Manhunter number 1, Marvel Knights number 3, Prodigy number 1, Shazam number 1.
With the exclamation point.
Yes.
I made sure to go back and add that exclamation mark to the
Did
title.
you add the, or did I put the in
You
caps?
did the capitalized
You did
the.
It's the Green Lantern.
Make sure to enunciate.
Yes.
The
Sorry.
Green Lantern. Venom number 9, and Hillbilly Red-Eyed Witchery from Beyond number 3.
You missed saying the colon. That's the only thing.
Sorry, Hillbilly colon Red-Eyed Witchery from Beyond number 3.
Who doesn't want a hillbilly colon?
Who doesn't?
I have a Hillbilly Colon.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
I also picked up Batman number 60, Die number 1, Umbrella Academy, Hotel Oblivion number 3. There should be an and in there somewhere because that was the last one on my list.
Okay.
So, spoiler warning, we're going to talk about the details of these books, Jack.
Well, okay, 1 second. Let's
okay.
not necessarily do spoiler warning yet, because I see a thing down here that you're probably not going to do a lot of spoilers for.
Well,
that I'm
okay,
interested
okay.
in.
You want me to talk about that one before the spoilers?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I want
All
to
right.
start with this.
With the...
No, just let him talk.
Okay.
Let me talk, damn it!
Gosh.
I haven't done enough talking on this
Fine.
episode. Why won't you folks let me talk? So yeah, if we want to talk about that first before getting into spoilers, I read Die number 1. And that book, let me just grab it so I know who made this, from Kieran Gillen, Stephanie Hans, I believe, is the Stephanie Hans.
I want to hear about this because
the artist.
Our comic book person behind the counter said, "A Die is starting and it looks like really, really cool." But when he describes it, neither Samantha nor I were like really like taken back, like, "Oh God, we have to get that." So I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Okay, so this book is basically it's something akin to like an It Chapter 2, or like if Jumanji, the kids from Jumanji, like 20 years later, got back together and were haunted by this experience they had as kids, and like it's basically It Chapter 2. Like so these kids basically played this. I mean, this is basically the premise of the book. It's in the solicits, but it's basically I'm not sure if it's haunted or if it's just like possessed or what, but it is somehow an evil tabletop RPG of some kind that basically ruins these kids' lives at an early point with some sort of supernatural, like they're somehow like have to deal with this crazy like real version of this terrifying tabletop RPG. So like a Dungeons and Dragons or whatever, you know. The title referring to they keep in the book referring to a single die as a dice, and people keep correcting them on it.
I did not think of that when I said
yeah.
die.
So the cover is also like an unfolded, like all the faces of a 20-sided die, like unfolded. Anyways.
Because I thought it was funny that they had the new book, what was it, Die, 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 and then this one,
the Robert
Die.
Kirkman. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, referring to a single dice. So they as kids have this like Jumanji-esque experience with this kind of living RPG, but we don't see it happen. It's implied. And then we jump back into the present day of the story, which is 20 years later? Some long amount of time later, 25 years later. They're all adults. They've had this traumatic experience from their childhood that we didn't see as readers. It's just all told. It's all implied. And they get back together to kind of
reminisce.
Like I don't want to give away the reason, but like they are brought back together because somehow this evil RPG is affecting their lives again. They're being drawn back together to face it again. So,
and that interests me more.
It's really great. The way in which the implied storytelling stuff here is happening is really well done. I think the characters are, like, for a first issue, are really compelling and interesting. And there, a lot of them are, like, they don't feel like stereotypes. They all feel like very nuanced. Like, I think this is a very, very strong debut. I would say this is required reading.
Wow.
Ooh,
Okay.
Add another one to it.
It's an excellent book. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna make you read this.
No,
but
it kind of sounds like you do.
I think this is like one of the strongest first issues of like a non-Big Two book I've read in a while, and it's very, very good. The art is absolutely gorgeous. It's all this like very not impressionistic. It's somewhere between like impressionistic and cartoony, but like
so
not
would
out
you
of the
say
realm
it's like
of realism.
somewhere between Fraser Irving and Rob Guillory?
It's painted, like it's all painted, but it looks like a very digital painted kind of style.
Huh. I haven't looked at the art at all, so I'll have to. Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you're saying, I might as well get the first issue. Yeah.
I highly recommend that you pick up this first issue because it's a very intriguing world and debut, and I'm very excited to see where this goes from here.
Cool.
Yeah.
You've convinced.
So, highly recommend.
Very nice.
All right, now, spoiler warning. Thanks.
Yes.
So, what do we want to talk about first here, guys?
We could go down the list.
All right.
Do you want to do Doomsday Clock, because we never get to talk about Doomsday Clock?
Doomsday Clock, which comes out approximately once every 10 years.
Yes. This is the first Doomsday Clock that Samantha's read, like, new.
Oh, you've been reading them after the fact?
Well, because since the last Doomsday Clock came out, she's read Watchmen and Doomsday Clock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes. So, that is a fascinating way into this. Right? Like reading Watchmen and then going directly into this.
Oh, it's, yeah, that seems crazy to me.
It's so strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very unique experience, I feel like. Yeah. But you're probably not the only one who did that.
So what do you think, Samantha, of like this first issue coming into the fold?
I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I read the other one.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great.
Have you been
the cat?
Have you been enjoying this series at large? I don't know that we've talked about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's great after Watchmen, and it doesn't feel like they're trying too hard. And I love where the characters are going, and Veidt is just awesome, and his impact on the world is so cool.
He's such a fucking shit.
And I love how it opens up with like the cat being so cute and yawning when you know he's gonna fuck shit up. And you know, he's just this cute little cat.
Well, especially after last issue, like I remember Jeff Johns specifically said that the after credits sort of like writings in last issue were very important. They were about all the stuff about the cat having Dr. Manhattan's powers and everything. Mm-hmm. So just like, it's just, I love to see it more explained, like how much of it, like to what extent he does. But on the other hand, maybe I don't, because it's kind of nice to see like, what can he really do? Especially after this issue.
Without saying it, they show it.
Yeah, especially after this issue where the thing happens and you're not really sure that the cat would be capable of this kind of thing. But apparently he totally is.
Wait, are we saying the cat did this?
I think the cat's powers were used to alter their chemistry. As a sort of bomb thing. I don't know.
Maybe. That's definitely possible.
That's how I interpreted, like, Batman saying, it's not Firestorm doing this.
Interesting. But Firestorm's still definitely, maybe, I don't know. Interesting. So this issue was our first big delve into Superman's involvement in the story. We've gotten lots of teases. But this issue was mostly about Superman and dealing with, it seems like Firestorm's kind of gone rogue because he's being accused of being part of the Superman theory thing. In which the government has secretly created a bunch of the American superheroes. And we get a big kind of callback kind of things to the status quo of 52, in which Black Adam is running this. I mean, he's in charge of Kandak, but he's turned it into a kind of safe zone. I don't know,
refugee kind of zone.
Yeah,
Safe
kind of
haven
like
for people.
safe. There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Safe haven for superheroes, who are being persecuted.
Yeah.
So, and Firestorm ends up, at least it seems like he loses control and I assume kills a lot of people in Russia.
Well, it doesn't look like he kills them at first.
No, he turns them into glass and then he's trying to change them back, but like, I can't believe Superman tried to bring him back there. Like, that's bonkers to me.
Especially the way in which he entered. He entered like a superhero. Why would he do that?
And why would he bring the child? I know it was supposed to be like proof. It was just like, I feel like this, don't interrupt their press conference for this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed a little ill-advised, the whole like,
It was
I mean,
intruding
like,
at the wrong time, and it just caused a scene that they didn't want to happen.
like there's literally a press conference where they're declaring Firestorm basically a terrorist who murdered a bunch of their people, and Superman shows up and is like, "Hey, here's my buddy Firestorm. He's gonna help." And he just flies in. Like, don't do that.
Is it a thing where like Superman's hope is kind of a fault of his?
I think that's what they're going for here. Is that he was too optimistic to predict how wrong this was going to go.
Yeah.
Is maybe the idea. But it makes him seem a little naive, which is maybe the point. But it's a little frustrating. But I think like it works. Like I think it definitely works with like it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility, and we've set up some interesting stakes and conflicts here with this.
Yeah, and I think it's also really just. They use this in such a way, they wrote it in such a way that, like, it just tears your heart out at the end to see everything falling apart. You know what I mean? Like, ever since the first, like, they show the first woman, like, getting a stray bullet to the head and the glass shattering, and then, like, a tank, like, slowly, like, crushing another person of glass. Like, it's just like, oh no, oh, God.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that kind of struck me in this issue is kind of like they're starting to really make, because a lot of the Watchmen's end of this stuff has really been kind of like delving into like the cynicism of the Watchmen universe.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten a lot of the kind of more optimistic end of the DC universe versus that. But this issue with Superman, we're really getting the first taste of that, of kind of this sort of counterpoint to what makes these universes different in Superman, in that, like, Superman as a character, as opposed to Adrian Veidt, always believes that the kid can be turned back. You know, there is always a solution in which everyone can win. You don't have to make the sacrifice you don't have to choose what benefits the majority. Like Adrian Veidt, you can try to find the solution in which everybody wins. And the Watchmen universe, like, element in this story is why the shit at the end goes so badly.
Yes.
Because Adrian is interfering because he believes you need to choose what is best for the most people.
I have a question. Sorry.
Okay.
I have a question. Okay, we know Adrian's kind of intentions. What do we really know about Dr. Manhattan's intentions and why he's even in the DC universe at all?
I feel like we got a little bit of exposition from him when he showed up last issue.
What was it, though? I don't
remember what that was.
I don't feel like he said that much about, like, why he's changing all this shit.
I think it was just, like, an experiment.
To see why he can't, like, see into the future?
I think that was part of it. He's like, I don't know if he's trying to prevent that or what, but I think he's experimenting. He's trying to figure out, like, how to prevent that from happening, but also I think he's just curious. I think he's just messing with shit because he's a weird sociopath.
Yeah. It's just fucking
and he's
weird
just
to me.
with a god complex because he's a literal god.
Also, furthermore, another thing I'm wondering about this series. I have two other things I'm wondering about this series. Sorry.
Okay.
Do we think that the governments of the world are doing this huge conspiracy against metahumans in general? Because if Firestorm is so sure that he's not a part of the Superman theory, and we're sure, why does Adrian Veidt seemingly have a file on Firestorm in the Oval Office?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they're keeping tabs on them. I'm not sure. I don't know.
But I feel like this is something like, I don't know. Part of me thinks the governments are trying to unite the world themselves against metahumans so that they don't have much conflict between each other, as a sort of, like that being a sort of message that's akin to
I think
what
that's
was in Watchmen.
definitely. I think that's what Adrian Veidt is trying to do. I think that the implication here at the beginning could just be that the government is keeping tabs on them, because of course they would be.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, I can see that.
I
don't
also
know.
love how at the beginning he just picks him. Like it's a game. Like, I'll just do this one.
I mean, I think
Yes,
he's making...
yes, this one will do nicely.
Yeah,
it's
like,
terrifying.
I don't know. Like you're just going through. Like, oh, I like this guy's name. Let's just choose him.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's because he's a kid and he's very easily suggestible and manipulated
but
through
it's just,
emotion.
It's just funny how he does it. Like you're ruining this person's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, just,
Yes.
this one will do nice.
Picks him out of the supermarket.
The flippancy, the like glibness with which Adrian Veidt is depicted at the very beginning and very end. He's not like in the story at all. He's just like,
Right.
But he's
This
totally in
bookend
the
thing.
story.
He's the one making all this happen. So
Yes.
it's great that they have him at the beginning and right at the end to say,
Yes.
like, yep, it's working. It begins.
I think it's expertly done, the ways in which they're implying without really giving you any information, but it's like you totally fill in all the gaps there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like they give you basically no information, and yet you know exactly what's happening there, what he's doing. I mean, not like on a granular level, but like, you know, he's causing this to happen, and because of your like knowledge of how Watchmen went and stuff, you can start to fill in all these gaps in terms of like, why is he's doing this here, and what like his end goal is.
Mhm.
He's trying to recreate basically what he did in the Watchmen universe and try to make it, you know, work this time.
So I have one more thought about a very small detail, but I think could be a really big clue into what's going on. Part of the reason why I think the cat is a big part of what's going on and making people make turning glass. So go to this scene where Firestorm has the glass kid in the room and Superman comes to him. Okay?
Yep.
Look at the floor. What do you think about the floor? Especially the panel in which the kid turns real again.
Let me look at this. Yeah, I mean, like, they do look like atom symbols. Like hydrogen atom symbols.
It's a fucking nucleus with a circle around it. They're Dr. Manhattan all around the room.
Yes.
I mean, he's definitely a character with atomic powers. He implies... I'm wondering... I'm so curious what exactly Batman means when he says... Because you're saying you think the cat caused the explosion, but
I think...
Well, Adrian's
it's
doing
not Firestorm,
but...
he says. Which seems to imply to me that this character is literally somehow not Firestorm. Not that he doesn't cause the explosion. But that's maybe also true. But like...
I think it's Firestorm. I think that the cat... I wanted to look in the background of all these to see if I saw any other clue as to it, but I couldn't find any. I thought the cat has been there for the people turn into glass, and the cat is somehow slinking around when the kid is there and turns the kid back from glass, and then I think the cat is there again to make the explosion at the end. So Firestorm is... I think Adrian Veidt made it so that Firestorm felt more comfortable by like being able to turn the kid back.
To say, look, I can redo all this, no harm actually happened.
Exactly. And then to manipulate Superman to bring him back because he thinks he can fix it all. Mm-hmm. And then when Firestorm can't fucking do it and it goes wrong, that's his plan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, that's those symbols on the ground are definitely an implicator that Dr. Manhattan is interfering in
or
this
the cat,
scene. Or yes, I guess yeah. If the cat has Dr. Manhattan's powers, that could definitely also be a part of it.
Because he very specifically, Firestorm very specifically says, "I have never been able to affect anything organic," and I think that still remains true. I don't think he's affecting anything organic.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a thing that Dr. Manhattan could do. Just make a person, basically.
Yeah. So I love it. I'm so excited to.
So great.
We're kind of in the end game of this.
We're in the end game now.
I mean, there's just a bunch of shit going wrong all over the place.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that book continues to be great. We'll get another issue in 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Yep. So
I know.
So we had other than Die, we had a number of other new series this week that we both tried out. One of which was the new Martian Manhunter book from Steve Orlando, Riley Rossmo, and
Doug, I know that your disgusting mind had a certain page in mind that was your favorite.
The sexual page.
That fucking page is so ridiculous.
It is the best sex scene in the history of media.
I loved on social media. Someone posted there was an interview. I don't recall from where, but I saw basically an excerpt from an interview in which someone asked or Steve Orlando and Riley Rossmo, so whose idea was it to put a Martian sex scene in this book? And Steve Orlando said, "I put it in the script. I just basically described it as a saltwater taffy machine."
Yeah,
which
I like it.
It's like a gross, veiny, bulbous saltwater taffy. It's so messed up. So this book is about John Jones, both in not present day. They say a few years ago in the quote present part of the book.
Yeah, that's what it says.
So it's I'm not sure how that's going to fit into the book, but
I feel like it just means that he's not a part of the Justice League right now.
Yeah, maybe it just doesn't quite fit into current continuity, so they're just saying it's a few years ago or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just get some sort of jump forward or bits in actual present later. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
it's 12 issues. It's a long series. It's going to have a lot.
Does this have a definite endpoint?
Yeah, it's a 12-issue miniseries.
Oh, it does say that. Yeah, it's a 12-issue maxi series on the front. Huh. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, so it's about both him in a quote a present day basically setting, modern day. I can say, I guess, as a detective on Earth, and then flashbacks to his life as basically a dirty cop on Mars.
Yeah.
And about kind of him dealing with the guilt from that. And what did you think of this series? I have thoughts, but this was new for a number of reasons, I think, for both of you guys. So,
yeah. I mean, I loved the current part. And
you mean the human, when he's
when he's a human? I just think the art's really cool. I love the direction they're going with that. I enjoyed the part where he's a Martian. For me, a lot of the words that they used, what's a good one to use? It's
all the
here?
Jargon, right?
Yeah, a lot of the jargon was just I couldn't connect with it, and it just felt like they were. I don't know. I was looking into a world that I wasn't allowed in, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Steve Orlando stuff sometimes has a tendency to go really far into the jargon in a way that can be alienating. I think this is one of the less alienating versions of that. That I've I completely dropped off of a new series he started a while back called Dead Kings that I just could not read because it was so jargon laced. But I can definitely see there's definitely still a lot of that in here. Although I think that you get a lot of kind of the difference there for me, at least, is that in this book you kind of get the meaning of a lot of it through context in a way that I didn't find super confusing. But
still with the words, I didn't like it. It turned me off. It just.
I think for you haven't had a lot of those moments where you have to have that sort of mental gymnastics to be okay, they're using this word. but it means this is a scenario, and like, the writer is using a context in which it shows,
But it's not always like, because like, yes, you can fill in the gaps, but sometimes there's just an overkill. Like, I think there is a little bit too much jargon in this book. In a way that, like, yes, you can figure out what it means, but also, like, sometimes just fucking say what you mean in plain English. Like, you don't always need to use the silly fantasy gobbledygook
See,
word.
I disagree, though. I think they're in this huge culture that, like, is on... That is a dog.
You're just rattling chains. You've got
yes.
Jacob Marley in the background.
Hey, that's a Christmas Carol reference.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. No, but I don't know. I've gotten a lot better at like trying to figure out like jargon and like seeing it in a context and trying to like delve into this world and what it means.
It's not that I was unable to do it or it was difficult for me. It's that I just didn't enjoy it.
You don't enjoy reading it.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from on that.
I gotcha.
Because it felt like I was reading a memoir of this guy who was like, just a really geeky guy. I don't know. I don't want to say anything wrong, but like, I just couldn't connect at all. It was like it was his own mind and he was just not allowing anyone else in. And
It's just kind of, sometimes when it's just too much, it kind of takes you out of being immersed in the world. Because you're constantly being reminded of like, oh, that's not a real fucking word. And then you have to do like the little bit of like extra mental work to be like, okay, what does that mean? And it just kind of takes you out of the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of the times instead of focusing on the emotional context and stuff. I definitely see where you're coming from. Some of that stuff did distract me in this book a bit. However, on a broad level, because I've talked on this show a bit with Jack about how I've been really wanting, because I really liked Steve Orlando's run on Midnighter, blah, blah, blah. I've talked a bunch about that on this show. I don't need to talk a bunch more. But I've been wanting another book from him that kind of recaptured what I liked about his writing in that series. And for me, since that book, has been the first kind of real return to form for me in terms of what I enjoy about his writing. And I really connected with a lot of the kind of emotions that he's putting forward in this book. I like the structure of this story, like with the flashbacks to him on Mars. I'm enjoying the world he's setting up. I think there's a lot of interesting thought being put into what would Martian society look like. I think this is a really good debut in terms of what I was looking for from this series. I definitely see for sure though how some of the writing can be a little alienating.
Yeah, alienating specifically.
Alienating. Pun intended.
I'm really interested to see what Samantha thinks about Green Lantern then.
Okay.
Too, because I mean, we don't have to go. Do you want to go into that now? Because I think they're kind of similar.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
In the jargony sort of sense, at least, because
there was a big difference, honestly, between this one and the first one.
I agree for sure.
Yeah. One second. I just want to talk about, because personally, like with the jargon thing that we were talking about, I feel like I've gotten way better at like enjoying and determining what jargon means because of trying to dissect everything in a Grant Morrison book. Because on some level, it is a lot of stuff to dissect, but I want to hear what the difference.
It's not about getting better at understanding it. It's if you enjoy that.
No, I know. I think a part of me thinks like, okay, Grant Morrison's a great writer who puts a lot of thought into this stuff. So there's got to be some way in which I can dissect this to a point where I enjoy it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. But no, this one I honestly chose within the order of the books I was reading. I'm like, let me just get this one over with. Because, the first one, it was good, but it was just kind of all over the place for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. That first one, like, yeah. I really like aspects of it, yes. But also it was really all over the place tonally in a way that I could not get a handle on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just get this done with. But I was really surprised. I liked this one a lot better. It was a lot easier to follow. The art also wasn't as all over the place, I feel.
I also agree with that.
So it was a lot more enjoyable, and I'm so happy about that, because I was ready, honestly, like after this one, to be like, yeah, Jack, I'm not gonna read this one, but I like it now, and I understand it, and it's not a headache to read.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I really like the first one still. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm a little more, like, used to Grant Morrison's crazy, like, off the wall style, that I kind of just accept when things are just, like, seem jolty and, like...
Hey, didn't he do Nameless?
He did do Nameless.
I loved Nameless, and that is,
But, like, there's a... Like, I love Grant Morrison, and I'm super used to him being weird and trippy and crazy all over the place, but, like, the first half of that first issue was weird in a way that wasn't just, like, confusing conceptually, like, on a creative level, like, what is he going for? It was also just confusing on a, like, what is literally happening in this issue? Like, I was confused so many times in the first half of that first issue. I really liked the second half of that issue, and this issue kind of goes more, like, builds more off of that.
Yeah.
And I think there was a purposeful element to the confusion of that first issue, of the first half of that first issue, in that, like, we're throwing you into this weird alien environment, and we're going to slowly introduce the more human element of this, so that, like, cut it through Hal Jordan, because he is, like, our into this crazy space universe.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense conceptually now, but after that first issue, it was hard to get a handhold on kind of, what I'm supposed to get out of it. Now that we moved into the second issue, like, we're moving more into, like, the police procedural kind of trappings, and playing with those, and, like, upending those or affirming those. And I think that gives you a lot more kind of context in which to read this series. I mean, read in a, like, does this read well? Like, does it make sense?
Well, the panel structure also is a lot better in this one than the first one.
Oh, yeah? What'd you notice about that?
It's easier to read. Honestly.
It's clearer. It's much clearer. A lot of the flow of action in that first issue was very confusing.
Yeah.
Huh.
From, like in a literally, what is happening in this scene level.
I gotcha.
I don't know that it's entirely cleared up. I like Liam Sharp a lot. I think Liam Sharp, to be completely frank, is better when he is working more minimalist.
Okay.
I think some of the excess of his art in this is distracting him from the basic physical forms and storytelling here in a way that is... I don't think all of these characters look good.
Well, especially
honestly,
the facial expressions, I think.
Some of the
time.
And I've seen Liam Sharp do beautiful, clear work, especially on his. I read his Wonder Woman run with Greg Rucka. I think some of that stuff was absolutely gorgeous. But he was also much more restrained in that. In this, he's doing all this crazy sci-fi machinery and crazy alien designs, and I don't know that I like his alien designs all that much. I don't know.
I don't see that. I don't agree. I really, really have been enjoying it, because I don't know. For me, like, I just spend a lot of time looking at everything in here, and I find a lot of enjoyment in that, because I don't know. I think it's really, really interesting, because this issue, more so than the last one, this is, like, exactly what I want in this series. Like, that simple police procedural with all this absolutely nuts, insane shit as a concept on top, like, layering on top of that. And
that's, I think, how this issue specifically solidifies that. Like, that is how this issue feels. I do agree. I really like that direction that it seems to be moving into.
But I think the alien design and the really cool, like, I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I think it's great. I also think that if I can just go back to the writing for a little bit, especially of this opening sequence, compared to the opening sequence of the first one, like we were talking about, I think it's written in such a genius way to, like, it's such a crazy concept to apply, like, Green Lantern to a blind creature that we learn. And at first, when I was reading this, I was like, why are there just, like, no translation things? But then when you get down to it and you see that he's a power bell, and he has no translation for like all of the vision words you get to notice. And
oh, is that what? Okay,
yes.
I didn't realize this character was blind, and I'm putting this together as you're saying it.
Yes, look, because
that is really cool.
That's why he's a power bell, because they don't know what a Green Lantern is.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
He has, what is it? Maybe it has something to do with that no translation. I can no translation behind you. With that whatever,
you
I
can't
can see behind
can
you. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think something like that. Like, I was spending enough time on here to where, like, by the end of it, I was like, oh shit, because he's blind. Oh, that's so cool.
You have no idea you're surrounded, do you? Yeah, that I was confused why he had a bell on his chest and everything. His power bell.
Yeah. So,
what is a power bell?
No, because they're usually Green Lanterns.
He is a blind. His alien species. Alien species is blind, and they don't have words for anything sight related. And so they've. His ring is trying to translate for him here, but it's saying every time there's a sight-related word, it can't translate it to his language because they don't have words for anything that you can see with, because no one in his race can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that's awesome. I totally didn't make any of that connection.
Right? Like, it's just, that's part of the reason why I'm really excited for the future, because I thought this scene was written in such a way that it kind of gradually gave you like, okay, what the fuck is this? Why is there no translation?
Yeah, I was honestly pretty confused in this first scene, especially when the dude popped up behind.
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense when you realize this character is blind. I did not put that together.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I fucking loved reading this first scene. And then, like, seeing his structure of, like, this weird, like, thing with balls and everything, like a molecular structure, because I don't think he can see anything other than, like, sense a molecular sort of structure, and I think that's why it shows itself as that, you know?
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear on why that would be what a blind construct would be.
I thought it might be sound waves, would it be? I think that'd be kind of cool.
Maybe.
I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. Somehow there's some sort of thought process there behind what would a blind lantern create with a power construct. But,
yeah.
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but maybe it's just that he understands conceptually what, like, atomic structure is, and maybe that's what it is. It's a little confusing. But.
Yeah, I would think that, because, like, if he understands conceptually what atomic structure is, then I think he can get his mind around that, but, like, how atomic structure lends itself to a greater vision, no. I don't know. Yeah, there's something there, though. We should think about that.
Yeah, not entirely clear, but I think there's definitely, something there. But
I heard
I very much enjoyed this issue much more than that first issue, though. I agree with that.
I loved, like, apparently Evil Star is a character from, like, way back.
He's great.
Oh, for sure.
And I love that Grant Morrison is specifically, like,
making fun of his name.
Yeah, like, he's, like, tries to, like, say, like, well, you know, Evil Star is fine. Like, they're green, so I'm evil.
Yeah, I love that fucking line. Like, he says, Evil Star was my satirical take on Green Lantern. They're green, so I'm evil.
And Star is brighter than Lantern. It's badass.
That I guess makes sense, but I just love the line, they're green, so I'm evil.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's part of the beauty of it. You know what I mean?
It's great. It's perfect.
But, and then I also heard that Volk, the Volcano Lantern, is an old character as well that he's bringing back and doing sort of a new take on. Which that's great. I think is awesome.
I love that. I love this Volcano character.
Yeah, I was a little
he's
confused
great.
on who he was.
He's just a guy.
He's just another, I don't know, he's just another Green Lantern. They do that a lot in Green Lantern shit. It's just like, here's another rando alien.
Isn't anyone gonna
He's a volcano.
Yeah, one of the things you'll have to accept in this book is that...
Well, you can't just say, why don't you have a head? That's insulting.
But I think one of the things about this book that I think you'll enjoy more if you get is that with Green Lanterns, you know, they made a specific note about it, like, we have species of all kinds here. Okay. And so I think there's gonna be a really big focus on, like, this is just a Green Lantern that has a volcano for a head. This is one that has, you know, I don't know, 500 penises.
I mean, they haven't shown that yet, and that would be really cool.
I feel
500 penises is a little excessive.
I wouldn't put it
I feel like you'd top out at about 480.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll have you be the penis expert on this podcast. But no, I think a big thing about this is just, like, there are a lot of, and I get the idea that this has been a thing in the past, that there are Green Lanterns of all kinds. Way kinds. Like, there's a whole planet that's a Green Lantern.
Way kinds.
But that have random things such as that?
Volcanoes for heads. Yeah. The other one is, like, just a bird, and they talk about bird things, which is kind of funny to me, too. They literally say, talk?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that's just a part of it. Like, it's just like...
And I like the pirate spider character.
I'm glad they brought her back, like, as this sort of thing. Because at first, when they introduced the spider character, it was kind of like, oh, who is this? I don't really get the idea. But now it's like...
it was conceptually confusing, the pirate spiders shit in the first issue.
Yeah, but it makes more sense.
Now that we've kind of brought it down to this, like I don't know, base level of the police procedural stuff, and they're interrogating them and stuff, it's just like, this is a space criminal. And so this is just Grant Morrison's wacky idea of what would a criminal empire in space be like, you know?
Well, also, they talk about how this spider is a young girl who ran away from home to join the gang of pirates.
Yes.
It's such a cool story in and of itself.
It
that
really
could be a whole
is.
series. Just
Like, I don't know, for me, when he says things like that, it really, like, humanizes something like a spider pirate, you know? And I think
I also absolutely love the bit where Hal Jordan has issues with spiders, but then he's like the spider says like that it thinks he's gross.
Oh yeah, and he
he's
talks about the eye, like his eye.
Yeah, he says, you guys find humans revolting. I do too on occasion. It's the smell, right?
Yeah.
And that sickening amputated limb effect when we walk. And these two horrible little jelly eyes embedded in bone sockets. It's a gut thing, an instinctual revulsion. Like, flipping the, like, instinctual hatred of spiders on its head. Like, how would spiders think we're really gross?
Yeah. But it's also, like,
I love that.
It's such a cool, like, thing to be aware of, and it's almost lends itself to real life in a way, like, understanding different people's cultures in a way. Like, having it so different here, you think, like, oh, I can really, like, see myself in this spider's role now. I think Grant Morrison is doing that, like, so well, and that's part of the reason why I'm so excited for this series, if he can do that so well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Grant Morrison breaking down, like, this, like, the terrifying other, you know? Like, it's, like, they're not bad just because they're different.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's a common theme in a lot of his stuff. That's a big theme in Doom Patrol, you know? Like, just because something looks crazy and weird and different doesn't mean that it's evil or bad.
Mm-hmm. But one of the things also, like, I feel like, you know, you talk about how there's writing character Grant Morrison and concept Grant Morrison, and that concept Grant Morrison, you know, is like sort of, here's this, take this, fuck you, you know?
That was a lot of that first issue, and I think we're getting a lot more of a mix here,
exactly.
Like a good mix.
Like, I see that mix, like, he has these absolutely ridiculous concepts that he's just throwing at you, but he takes time, like in this issue where we're talking about trying to humanize this spider, and we get more of that here. And
the first issue didn't take the time to do it. It was just blah 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 blah. Next. And it wasn't like, this goes over each thing that he's saying and really allows you to understand it. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that lends itself in the future. Like, is this issue concept-y or righty?
I think
it
as
needs
long
to be
as
a balance. It needs to be a good balance.
Yes, for sure. You have to give people those kind of emotional handholds in order, like the conceptual stuff is fine and great as long as you have like a hold on like the actual physical events of the story and like what's your emotional end to this? Why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I think that it's moving in a great direction. I think the contrast versus the first issue is purposeful.
Yeah.
But
totally. Should we move on?
All right. So, moving on, we had to let Samantha go.
Yes.
Just quick note.
We had to put her down, unfortunately.
We had to bring her out back behind the barn.
She's dead. But like in all comics, I mean, she'll be back. So,
we just went a little over her time that she had to record. So, we'll have her on again sometime soon.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. Samantha will return.
Her thrilling new adventure will be on sale soon. Still curious if that was literally nothing or if they meant that they have another project coming up. So
wait, what were you talking about?
Mr. Miracle.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
There are so many things where they say, like, will return, or there's a new project coming out.
Sure, yeah.
I did not recognize that specific wording.
Oh, that's what I had in my mind. Maybe
I gotcha.
wasn't referencing it specifically. But, anyways, she gave us a rundown of her thoughts, and we're going to relay them as we talk about these remaining books.
We are going to relay them. It doesn't take much to relay them, I don't think.
All right. So, we can go a little bit more quickly through these last, few books here.
How about Justice League? Because
sure,
we've had problems with the last arc, and I think it's interesting because I personally thought this issue was fucking sick.
Okay.
I fucking loved this shit. I love it when the Joker is winning. I love it. It's my favorite thing, I think, in the world, because especially with someone as, like, conceited and, like, full of himself like Lex Luthor, I fucking love seeing the Joker just tear him the fuck down, you know?
Yeah, I love when things delve into Lex and the Joker, because that is a fascinating dynamic, or would be, you know, like, just like this super, super smart sociopath, and then this, like, also super smart, but seemingly just absolutely insane psychopath.
Yeah.
So, like, how do those interact? Like, what is the weird mutual respect that they have for each other? What is the ways in which Lex might, like, overlook, like, how he could be taken advantage of, by someone who just doesn't follow the rules of logic, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to make Joker into a team player, and that just ain't gonna happen, bud.
No, because honestly, I thought it was kind of weird that he was on this team in the first place when he first was introduced. Like, why is he following Lex Luthor's orders? That's fucking weird.
Yeah. Like, it was definitely, you were waiting for, like, this to all go wrong.
Yeah.
Like, Joker was not going to, like, go along with this forever. There was some sort of reason. And, yeah, we found out in this issue, he was, like, waiting for, like, the moment in which he could, like, use this to just fuck them all over because he thinks that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's just perfect. And I love how he's drawn in this issue, too. There's something about, like, the dramatic, specifically at the end of this flashback part we have at the beginning, there's this image of him with the green toxin all around him and his face above it with his hand. Do you see that?
Yeah, he also has, I cannot ignore, he has the bat who laughs in one of his eyes.
Well, because he's talking about him.
I know, I just don't want him. I don't want him anymore.
Okay, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things about, like, the aspect of the bat who laughs and Justice League and Scott Snyder in general is the rivalry and hate that the Joker has for him.
It's so interesting, and I don't want to see him anymore. Also,
that Batman Who Laughs preview we have at the end, I don't like Batman just killing people, because I see what you're saying. Like, it's just, like, annoying. Like, just, it's Batman, but he kills people. Meh. But if this greater story is about the Joker, like, against the Bat Who Laughs and trying...
Is that what that book... I guess it is. They're trying to kill him at the end here.
They're trying to kill him at the end. Also, at the end of this one, it says the Joker will return in the Bat Who Laughs.
Interesting.
I'm just saying that has, like, I was on the fence of, like, whether I was going to get it or not, just based off of Jock doing the art. But now that I know Joker is going to be hopefully a big part of this series, oh my god, I want fucking all of it, because I want him to defeat the Bat Who Laughs. You know?
I do also want him to defeat him, because I just feel like this character is just, I don't understand. He's so redundant. Like, and I understand that's part of the idea of why there's a rivalry, but I just don't understand what this character represents that isn't just the Joker.
I think what he represents is the Joker, but because it's actually Bruce Wayne, he doesn't like chaos per se. He's not still, like, the same. I don't know.
He doesn't?
I don't think it's the same, because I think the Joker is an absolute representation of anarchy and chaos, and he wants whatever is the more chaotic, anarchic
Okay.
I think the Bat Who Laughs, he's saying he has motivations. He has things that he wants to get done. The Joker doesn't necessarily have motivations of what he wants to get done. His motivations and what he wants to get done is get rid of everyone else's motivations because they don't matter and nothing matters in the world, you know?
I guess.
I feel like the Joker sees the Bat Who Laughs as what you see him as. He is a bastardization of the Joker, and he's wrong. So,
yeah.
I don't know, part of me thinks that you would like it because I'm saying that if he is a large part, like a main character of the Bat Who Laughs, I'm gonna fucking love it because I want to see him against the Bat Who Laughs. But otherwise, if he's not there for like an arc or something, I'm done. You know?
Yeah, I
just love how
I have
Scott's,
a very hard time taking this character seriously.
I know what you mean, and I think the Joker does too. Well,
if he could just please. I hate making stupid squabbles about costumes because who fucking cares? I think the spike eye thing is one of the dumbest looking things in comic books. So it doesn't make any sense and it's stupid.
Yeah, I don't really get the point. Like, is he also blind? Is the idea that he's blind as a bat? Ooh, is that
it? Sure.
Okay, honestly, I love how Scott Snyder writes the Joker, and that pushed me over the edge.
I agree. I really enjoyed this issue, other than the Battle Laps, just on the delving into kind of the dynamic between the Joker and Lex Luthor and what makes them different, and Lex Luthor totally overlooking the obvious fact that Joker was going to fuck them all over.
Yeah. And I was honestly waiting for the other shoe to drop on Lex Luthor is gonna have the upper hand in this somehow, but he never did, and I fucking loves that.
Mm-hmm. I love how he kept having dramatic lines and well, you didn't think of this, huh? And he totally did. Yeah. Where he goes for his power armor, his secret stash of power armor, and has a line. What does he fucking say? He says, but you didn't think I wasn't prepared for this, did you? Mm-hmm. And then he opens his secret stash and Joker totally got in there, trashed his armor like he did.
Yeah.
Because as insane as Joker seems, he is also a genius, and he did totally think of it.
I mean, he'd never be able to succeed all these years against Batman if he wasn't fucking intelligent as shit, you know?
Yeah. He's going against one of the smartest characters in the DC universe. Yeah, so I loved this issue on that level. I'm totally down. I know we're probably not going to get more of that in this series.
Well, we're not, yeah.
No, because Joker's leaving. But I love Scott Snyder writing both Joker and Lex Luthor, and this issue.
Now, sorry,
really delved into that stuff.
Sorry, this was Tinian the Fourth, though.
Oh, that's right. Shit. So, well, he also wrote them very well.
Yeah, he wrote them both very well. I at some point, Tinian the Fourth is going to get a whole Justice League series, I think, or he'll take over for an arc or so, and I'll be totally happy with that. Yeah,
I mean, he writes sometimes some of his fill-in stuff for Snyder can be a little lackluster, but as we've seen in Justice League Dark, when he's given full reign to do what he wants, and in examples like this in this series, he can write a damn good team book. And so I would be on board for that. What do you think of the choice? This is just on a pure dumb fan casting thing. What do you think of the choice at the end here to put Brainiac on the team?
I mean, I don't know a lot about Brainiac. The only thing I know is that he was a big villain against Krypton, and then he came back at some point, and he's this hive mind sort of thing. Yep. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see Brainiac and Lex Luthor probably butt heads a lot, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting because part of the what was kind of fun and silly but cool about this Legion of Doom thing being a big part of Scott Snyder's Justice League is this idea that they're pulling together the big bads of a bunch of the various Justice League members. From each of them, not all of them, but from many of them. And this is, we are getting rid of a Batman villain and we're pulling in another Superman villain.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, is a silly squabble, but I feel like they could have they could have pulled in, who are we missing? Like
you think
who's
like
on Justice League?
I don't know. I feel like it's tough.
It's difficult because if we're not pulling in another Batman villain, which I think would have maybe been a better choice. There aren't many like high profile villains of like who are they going to pick for like Cyborg or Hawkwoman,
Yeah.
Hawkgirl, whatever she's called now. Or who's left.
I don't know, but I see what you're saying, but I also think that this gives a lot of like I'm when I see these 4 people before Brainiac, like Gorilla Grodd, Lex Luthor, Sinestro, and Cheetah, like obviously Lex Luthor is the leader here. And I think having another Superman villain and another person who is super smart and has a lot of intelligence per se, and probably will have a different idea than Lex Luthor, I think it breeds a lot of opportunity for conflict, and I think we need
for
that.
Sure. I think it's a dumb idea on Lex Luthor's part to go from Joker crashing and burning on him to another character who's going to challenge his leadership here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe he thinks there's a way to control his machinery.
I don't know. Like, it seems like he did not learn anything from this issue. Like, he's just making the exact same mistake again.
Yeah. But maybe also he doesn't want to do another Batman villain. Maybe he's thinking like the Joker was too much of a wild card, as a lot of Batman villains are, Yeah.
But I'm just thinking like in terms of like Scott Snyder's broad vision for this thing here. Like we're missing. We lost both an Aquaman villain and a Batman villain here.
Yeah,
and we're bringing in another Superman villain. But yeah, I'm curious to see if the roster of the Legion of Doom is going to change further in the future. I'm sure it will. But
yeah. Well, we'll see.
Though. I like Brainiac. So
yeah, and I'm excited for the next arc. It's going to be talking about the 3 people in Hawkworld: Hawkwoman, Martian Manhunter, and Jon Stewart. So yeah, I'm excited. Jon Stewart probably more like focusing on figuring out his new ultraviolet powers. So I'm really excited for that.
Did he keep those?
I think he has them still.
I thought he was back to being a Green Lantern again.
Well, let's look at they have a cover for an ad in this, right? I
feel like they have him back in his Green Lantern outfit, but I could be wrong.
Is it on where is the cover? God, I hate this. By the way, I hate this 2-page splash of Snickers. I really hate it. I turn the page and I'm like, oh, that's different art. Why?
I don't think they have do they have an ad in here?
Oh, I guess they don't.
Ads in other issues.
Yeah, definitely in other issues. Probably not in that one, I guess. I guess it makes sense. You're already reading it. Oh, here we go. Okay, I have Green Lantern open. The Green Lantern open, and he is in... You're right, he's in his Green Lantern stuff. I thought he had him. Okay. I would have liked him to explore his hidden emotions.
Yeah, that would have been a fun way to differentiate him, but we already have... Sinestro is doing that, so we're still probably going to explore it a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that wasn't quick at all.
Sorry.
maybe this is that was somewhat equivalent to you asking me a few weeks ago for one word on a couple, or that was last week or something, one word on a book and then talking for 20 minutes. But, anyways, so, we've got, Shazam, exclamation mark. What did you think of this? I am so curious.
Okay. I want to know why you're so curious.
Something about this book, I could be completely wrong in this, and I'm getting the impression now that you liked it, but something about this book and the way it was written makes me think that you would have hated it.
Hated it? Ooh. Because...
Like the mass amounts of kid writing in this. Like children characters.
Yes, you're right.
What did you think of this in general?
You're absolutely right. I didn't really like
this. Oh, you didn't like this? Okay, that's what I thought. You made me feel like I was stupid.
Well, no, I just want to... I don't like being predictable, so I just want to,
No, I just know you and like what your tastes are.
I know.
Generally.
I'm just it's my way of giving you shit for being right.
Sure.
No, yeah, it was cute. It was fine. Like, I think it's heartwarming, like the family that they have and their cute kids and everything. But it's like, and I get that this is the start of something. We don't want to, like, for the kind of series this is going to be, it's not going to start with an issue that's going to like give them like dramatic, like whatever. No, it's supposed to be like setting up their family, setting up how they are, setting up how they interact with each other in general. Like, and I did really think that the heartwarming line of, "Oh my God, we love lasagna."
Yeah.
I thought that was really cute. And I thought some of their, like, the way they talk about things is cute and everything. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked the back half of this issue a lot more than the front half.
The back half, yes.
Yes, like when they go into the
station
Rock of Eternity
and
stuff, the station.
And they set up, like, the magic lands. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yes.
And I also just don't care about the father thing, too, though.
What was the father thing?
I've come to see Billy. I'm his father. That's the last page.
Right. Yeah.
But, like, I mean, who knows? That'll probably be something later, so I don't know.
But, yeah, he looks to me like he's just Shazam. He just looks like Captain Marvel, this dude who's Billy Batson's father, so that's weird. Anyways.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like, if you flip back and forth between the cover and here, you can see it, especially. Yeah, so I also found there's a lot of children, and, like, I can deal, I'm fine with, like, kids being written like kids, but there's so many kids.
Yeah.
And they're all just yelling
all the
whole time.
And that's
all
what
the
kids
time.
do. But...
It is. It's convincing. Like, I think they're convincingly written children. I don't think there's anything bad about that. It's just, it's a lot of them, and they're all yelling all at once.
And I don't like that Freddy is basically Fabio. When he's the Shazam guy. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's funny. I think some of that's funny when you read into, like, this is what a kid thinks, like, I'm an older, attractive man looks like. This is how I'm going to get the ladies or whatever, you know?
I can see that, I guess.
Like, a kid's concept of what, like, a ladies' man or whatever would be.
Is that what it is, though? They don't change it to something?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Because then it would make sense, actually, that he would turn into something that looks like his father, maybe of some memory that he has in his subconscious. Billy, I'm talking about.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, totally.
I don't know. There are elements in this, though, that I want to do. Like, it's just like a lot of this family stuff and with the kids being kids and everything without something to unite around or something like that. I think when they have a problem that they have to unite around as a family, I think that'll be really nice to read and like heartwarming. Like, I mean, it's a nice story, but I just don't dig on it all that much.
I think a lot of this stuff in the beginning is table setting. I think it's fun. It's not necessarily all my thing in the beginning, but I think that we are going to move. The direction it seems to be moving at the end here is very promising. I think once these are all of the characters, as opposed to, like, a bunch of characters amongst a million other characters talking, like, it'll be a lot more easy to deal with.
Yeah, totally.
I
think evil people playing off of the kids will be great.
Yes.
Or the kids playing off the evil people.
Yeah. I hope that the amount of just screaming over each other is downplayed a little bit more, is lesser moving forward.
Or like struggles of them. Like, who's the leader? I'm the leader. You know, like struggles like that. Like, okay, just get away from that.
Yeah, right.
And then Samantha like mentioned in the first half of the story that she thought was like nice and everything, but she held the same idea that I had, that I loved this last backup story.
Yeah, I like this backup story. The art is cute. It's a story about I'm assuming this seems to be implying to me that we're going to get, so this one's called Mary. Yeah. And so it's about Mary Marvel as a kid. And I assume we're probably going to be getting flashbacks about each of them in each issue.
I think
my guess.
So.
So we're going to get like a Freddy one or something in the next one?
I would think so. Did you hear what this artist, like the story behind this artist?
No. What is...
This is a Japanese girl or woman, I don't know, but she's apparently a huge fan of Captain Marvel, Shazam, and everything. Cool. And she like is like well known as a huge fan, and like I guess writes like something, I don't know if it's like articles or like she has like a social media thing. I don't know. But apparently people are very aware that she's a huge fan of this. And this is the first time she's been able to like draw something for like
that's cool.
The book. And I think that's really cool. Like Jeff Johns is writing this for her and she's writing, like drawing these. If she continues to do these backup stories about this background stuff, I think that's a nice little element to keep in mind. And it's really, really cool.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be her again in the next issue or if it's going to be a different artist on all these backups.
Yeah.
Because this one did specifically really fit the Mary Marvel story. I wonder if that'll continue or if they'll get an artist that specifically fits each of these like different characters. We'll see. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's probably been said already somewhere, but
and there's Hoppy. We're going to have the 7th member of the family.
Yeah, Hoppy. Their pet rabbit gets jolted by their powers at the end and flies out the window, and Hoppy is an anthropomorphic rabbit in a Captain Marvel suit who is part of the Marvel family. Which is funny.
Great. It's like Captain Carrot.
It's like Captain Carrot. So this was fun. But I also agree about what I would like from it going forward. What for it to like how it should be different, I think, than this first issue. But
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a similar spot to you. I think I was probably less annoyed by it than you were, but I definitely also was a little tired of it. But.
Yeah, but I do think it's going to be better. Like, it's like when I saw the first Deadpool movie, I was like, when they get all this stuff set up, like his whole love story, his whole tragic character kind of stuff, it'll be so much better when they could just focus on a story where he reacts to different, like, evil things. That didn't really come to fruition in the second movie, but it was that same sort of idea. And I think Jeff Johns will do a good job at building this universe around them.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Prodigy really quickly? Just because, honestly, I liked it, and I'm going to keep reading it. Mostly because, and Samantha said something about this too, like, she didn't like how this guy could literally do everything, and it didn't seem like there was a problem with anything, so there weren't any stakes whatsoever. I think, though, that's just the setup, and I think it's set up for a very cool, like, thing where he's gonna say, I don't know what to do, and I'm really excited for that moment.
That's definitely the point here, is like, most of this first issue is spent on just kind of extolling exactly how able this man is, how smart, how athletic, how brave he is, and just like how he can do anything. And yes, that robs a lot of this issue of drama, but I think that's entirely purposeful because as we get in the setup here at the end, he's going to be dealing with a problem that he is, I'm assuming, going to have issues with. Yeah. Like, he is not going to be able to immediately solve this. And I think that's an interesting prospect. Mm-hmm. This first issue suffers a little bit dramatically. Yeah. But if you look at it purely as, like, setup for the character, and you kind of keep that in mind of, like, where that could potentially go, you could be wrong. But, like, where it seems obvious that's where it's going to go, and I think that is fascinating. Yeah. Also, I think that's really ripe for good story content.
I really hope that these two people, the CIA agent that shows up at the end and our guy, I hope that they play a dynamic between them where, like, maybe she's also like super smart, but she's not throwing it in everyone's faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's some sort of, I'm getting an eye of that just because she's a CIA agent and she was able to sneak in through everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm also fascinated by the mystery they set up here. I think it's
Oh,
cool and high concept and fun.
Yeah.
In a great way.
Totally. It almost makes me feel like these guys are in one of the universes in The Onion from Black Science. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah. I thought this issue, like, there's definitely, they need to go in a specific sort of direction in order to make this first issue work.
Yeah.
But assuming that, I think this was really good setup for what could potentially be, like, this character hitting a wall that he normally wouldn't hit.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
And my last thing, my absolute favorite moment of this issue was them setting up the scene at, like, Secretary of State's dinner house or whatever, and talking about the kid who's gonna go under heart surgery next week, and then turning the lip. Sorry, I just made myself laugh again. Just seeing this fucking 11-year-old doing open heart surgery on this blonde kid, and he's just has his chest open with the blood around, the scalpel inside the body. Oh my god.
And the reaction of his parents where they're just oh god, he's doing it again. He does shit like this all the time. It's so fucked up.
It's so fucking great though. I love that. Moments like that just I don't know, when a writer can give me a moment of oh my god, that's amazing. I know that they can do something in the future, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, it's all in the name of it's all so over the top how competent this man is, and that seems very purposeful so that we can tear him down.
He literally jumps over the Grand Canyon while on fire.
into a little kiddie pool of water.
Yes. Also, are they setting up something that this kid because he says, is that the same kid to suggest this stunt, this new ridiculous stunt? I feel like they're setting up something with this kid that he's gonna be trying to kill this guy or something like that.
I'm assuming that's a plot point that will come back, but we'll see.
I'm very interested in that too. Okay. Very cool.
Cool.
Did you have anything else between any of the other books that we haven't talked about?
Very quickly.
Venom.
Okay.
Tell me about Venom, because I loved Venom, like Samantha did as well. She mentioned that she just really affected her, what it was about abandonment, about having people there but not really there anymore.
Yeah, I thought all that stuff really it was emotional. It read right. It was poignant. Can you remind me when he went to his dad's house?
So before
they had that in the recap and I don't remember it happening.
So, okay. You remember how, we had the whole story with Null, right?
Yes.
And it ended with him, putting his back to the fire and his symbiote was damaged after that. After that, he lost consciousness. And the symbiote seemingly brought him back to San Francisco then, and he did some random shit. And then that's when he was put into custody. They got him in San Francisco and brought him there.
I just don't remember him going to see his dad. Did that not happen on the page?
The maker explained it in that issue.
Okay, I totally blacked that out, but interesting.
I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean, that was a while ago. That was now it was 3 issues ago.
Felt to me I know the maker recapped that, but it felt to me like I missed an issue. I went back through my issues. I was like, when the fuck did this happen?
I know what you mean. They had a little bit of a flashback sort of section, but it wasn't a main focus.
Yeah. Anyways, this issue was very poignant. I like that the thing at the end is not just look how much you fuck everything up. It's no, your dad's a fucking asshole. Yeah. Let's go kill him.
I think it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, because fuck that dude. He's the worst.
Oh my god. Anyways, I'm always wondering because I know you've never enjoyed Venom in the past. You see the difference between this and other ones, I assume, and what is the difference? I don't know because having this been the first Venom thing that I'm really reading, I can't imagine they would do anything else because the relationship between him and the symbiote is the most important thing to him. I feel I
mean, they're treating it as a real relationship. It's not just a weird, stupid power fantasy thing. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They're digging into how a relationship like that is unhealthy.
It's not symbiotic.
Yeah, it's not symbiotic at all. This is a parasite on him, basically. Mm-hmm. Or how being in such a relationship like that and then losing it can really hurt you.
Codependency, actually, more than a parasite. Yes,
that's totally what they're dealing with here. And when someone who is hyper codependent, it loses that relationship, how that fucks them up. I think I like this series because it is countering the sort of completely cynical and nihilistic kind of shock jockey nature of old Venom stuff. With like no, we're actually like there is meaning to this, and like we are going to point out how this emotionally affects someone. We're going to point out all these things, and we're going to like, I don't know. They're doing more with it than just like, look how much he kills these people.
Yeah.
I don't know, which is a lot of old Venom stuff.
When I think of Venom, like, I think of like the idea that he has this living thing in his head all the time. And maybe it's just because of the series, but I feel like, Donny Cates mentions that he's a huge Venom fan. And then you saying that not a lot of that stuff has a lot of emotional value. I'm always wondering about that. But I feel like it's because he's literally a huge Venom fan, not necessarily like a huge like Venom fan of like he wants to tell this story because he's interested in this aspect of Venom. And I feel like I am too. And I feel like I'm so happy to be along for the ride and seeing this take on this character that hasn't been around forever,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Series always impresses me. I love it.
Also, I like his symbiote as a
pup.
This puppy. He's a puppy. He is a hard to control, potentially dangerous puppy, but one who is like loyal but mindless.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they've kind of reduced the symbiote to at this point.
Totally.
Like loves him, but isn't a full human emotional companion.
Well, isn't a full like it's just not emotionally mature in a way, and that shows the codependency because neither of them are.
Yes,
I love it.
I think that's a fascinating way to handle that. Yeah, this series is great.
Okay.
Anything else?
Batman. I know there was a huge twist that you wanted to talk about, but we can't.
I can't talk about it. But
is it something you literally
guy shows up at the end?
Is it something you literally cannot talk about at all? Like, even if I start reading it, like, way down the line, like...
I mean... Wait, what do you mean?
Like, I'm gonna read this series at some point, and I'll probably forget anything you say, but do you think this is something that I wouldn't forget?
You'll remember that this character shows up, for sure, if I tell you. It's a fun twist to just bringing a crazy character back from the Batman's past.
Okay.
Who, like, hasn't been around for a while, or, well, I mean, for the most part. Anyways, yeah. I really want to be able to talk with you about it someday when you read it.
I know, it's gonna happen. I read that entire Scott Snyder run. I'm gonna be able to read this one.
Quick note, it was very nice to get some Eric Powell art again on Hillbilly.
Oh yeah, and I noticed the colors. Oh god, Dave Stewart on colors. Like, he hasn't been on the other ones.
No, because Hillbilly in general, before this series, has been Eric Powell just doing, like, very minimal colors. It's been, like, pencils and some, like, neutral kind of watercolor stuff.
Yeah.
So, to see a full colored book, it reminds me a lot of the old Goon stuff. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Which was much more like this. Dave Stewart did colors on a lot of that stuff. It felt much more like this.
I actually didn't realize that Eric Powell was the drawer for artist for this. And I mean, I see it now, but I loved while I was reading it. But it is really nice to have that back because he's amazing. And I liked
he's so great.
I did notice that I liked how Rondell was drawn better in this one too.
You have that weird issue where you don't like the other artists.
I don't know. I also don't like this when we see the cleaver on his back and it's huge, I don't like that. I like the cleaver being a regular size cleaver for some reason.
Oh, give me that big cleaver. give me the dumb. It's the devil's cleaver, Jack.
I know.
Make that shit as dumb and big and Final Fantasy looking bullshit as possible. I want a giant man-sized cleaver.
Okay. No, I'm loving this. We only have one more issue of this, so this series, so I'm excited. I did put because there's still a regular Hillbilly series too, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of on hold for this. I think this is more or less basically the continuation of the Hillbilly book. I don't know. I think we're probably moving into a miniseries format.
Yeah.
With Hillbilly. There'll probably be another, separately titled book of Hillbilly after this, like Hillbilly Colon something else.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Colon. What do we got next week, Jack?
We got some awesome stuff. So specifically, we have The Bat Who Laughs, which I've been convinced I'm definitely getting it.
So torn.
I can tell you about it. You can wait for my word on it, but I don't know if you'll trust me because personally, I'm super into the whole rivalry between Joker and Bat Who Laughs. And I don't know if you're at that level that I'm at, but if I can get that in a whole series and Joker's like the, antagonist or protagonist to whatever he's trying to do, Bat Who Laughs, I'm in.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you tell me, but
okay. Also, Jock and Art.
I know. That's why and Jock go so well together, but
yeah, I know. Whatever. We have that, and then we're gonna see if Cthulhu is coming out because we actually don't know.
It's on Comic List when I look it up, but so that's supposedly coming out next week. The new Black Hammer spinoff.
One big one is Detective Comics 994.
Yes,
I'm excited for that. Doug Mahnke and Peter Tomasi taking over.
Yep. So the new like not permanent, but like the new like ongoing creative team, not just a fill-in arc, is coming on in Peter J. Tomasi and Doug Mahnke this next week. So
then we have Justice League Dark, which I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
We have Magic Order finally again.
Okay.
5 or 6.
Okay. Oh boy, yeah. We're in the end game now.
Well, because remember the last issue, the last issue was that guy being a fucking badass.
Yes, it was. That was cool.
Yeah.
We got Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I have that. Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Quantum Age as well, and we also have Outer Darkness again by John Layman.
Oh shit, we do. Huh.
Yeah.
I must not where I need to find that book and add it to my poll because I didn't.
Do it.
I must not have done it in my app for all the issues, just that first one.
So yeah, a lot of great stuff. Another great week, another big week.
Yeah.
Are you reading any like Alone that are you really excited for?
Let me see.
Because I have Oblivion Song, which is awesome, and you should feel bad for not reading. Skyward, same thing, and I think that's it that you're not reading.
I am excited for going back to Ryan Ottley on art on Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
And that series is great. Batman Annual is next week.
Oh, should I got the last Batman Annual, didn't I?
Written by Tom Taylor, art by Otto Schmidt. Ooh,
why?
Like Schmidt.
What's Otto Schmidt?
Otto Schmidt did the art on the Rebirth Green Arrow book, which the art was definitely the highlight of that book, and it was very good. Very excited for that.
Do you think I should get that? I feel like I should.
It's probably a good one-off tale, and it's not an ongoing commitment. I think that's probably a solid bet that it's going to be good, at least.
I mean, Tom Taylor, he impressed me in that Batman Secret Files, so
yeah.
And I want it.
Apparently, and oh yeah, God, I forgot. This is the one with the solicit that says that it is one of the most Alfred stories ever told.
Oh, that's great.
That is a quote from the one of the most Alfred stories ever told. Great. I assume that is on purpose and not a typo.
I hope so.
Because it sounds like a typo, but I think it's an Alfred-centric story.
I'm excited. Should be fun.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that's about it that I have, at least.
Cool. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We are a new pod. We really need to adjust this rundown. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us as a show.
We're just a year old.
It's a year. We have had some of these call outs about us being a new podcast. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us is leave us a review or a star rating on iTunes. If you haven't done it, it's so easy. If you've got the app, the podcast app, you just scroll down to the bottom of our page and you literally just click us one of the stars. So it's a big help for us. Helps any of the podcast apps kind of surface us to new listeners. So please do that if you enjoy the show. Or let someone know about us in person or on social media or something. That's also word of mouth is always a big help. So we release episodes weekly on Sundays. So be sure to check back in next week. We got to start figuring out what we're going to be doing for now that we didn't really do much for like year best of stuff last year because you were very new. We should now. So we need to figure out what we're doing for that because we got to do something.
Yeah, you're right.
So just a heads. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what we're doing. There may or may not be something, but
there will be. There will be something.
There will be something.
There will be an Endgame.
Whether it's just something in a regular episode or not.
What if we just release the trailer for Avengers Endgame on our Twitter, and that's
in audio form?
In audio format. No, we act it out. That'd be great.
Oh, wow. So if you want to listen to whatever that ends up being, or next week's episode, you can subscribe to our podcast in your podcast feed, and it just shows up. You don't even have to think about it. It just shows up on your phone.
And you can do it on iTunes, Stitcher. Well, you can do it a lot of places. Probably any podcast app that you use, unless it's like Dipshit's podcast app that he created in his basement. We're probably not on that, but
which is my favorite podcast app.
Shut up. We're also on Spotify though, and a bunch of big ones. So whatever one you prefer, we've got you covered. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered. Also, I'm on Reddit. And I'm on there all the time. Not all the time, but I'm on there a decent amount. I'm putting a lot of traffic out there. I hope people see it and they're like, what does that mean? What's Comics Covered? Who knows?
Yeah.
But what'd you say?
I said yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channel. We have video versions on Facebook as well. And if you want to get a hold of us with questions or feedbacks, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or at our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you, all of you, for listening. Again, I am a clock. Wow. Some would even say a doomsday clock. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm done.
I am the Hanukkah dog, the dog of Hanukkah.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. All right. This has been Comics Covered.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Great. Thanks, guys.